Evening guys, what's going on? Well, you're probably thinking, what the hell am I doing? What's this thing I'm wearing? Well, you may have seen recently I've been to Morocco, and this is just one of the things that I brought back. It's a djellaba, Moroccan outer robe, which men or women wear, and why not embrace the culture and just bring something back. Really thick, pure wool, and it's a genuine real McCoy. To buy something like this anywhere else other than Morocco is just totally fake. You've got to be there to embrace the culture, and this has come from a proper Moroccan market, and it's pretty cheap as well. To buy one of these in the UK would be quite a lot of money, so I got a real bargain with this, and it's just nice to wear around the house, keep warm. And you might see it at some point later in the year around a campfire somewhere, so look out for that. But tonight I'm just doing some editing on the computer. What can I say? The GPX has landed. The 300 two-stroke has finally arrived. Well, to be fair, it arrived quite a few weeks ago now. It's been stuck in a box at Eurotek, and finally this morning I went in on my day off and dragged the box out into the workshop and started to assemble the bike. Now, I did want to start this video in the workshop at Eurotek, but when I've listened to the audio from this morning, all you can hear is those noisy buggers upstairs, and they know what I'm talking about, walking up and down and doing other things. Just listen to this. Go upstairs and in the showroom, that's the most expensive part that is going on this bike from stock. Everything else is well under £150, all the bits that I've got. So this bike will retail at £59.50. There's some upgrades which have come after some discussion with GPX UK. So that's why we're here tonight, Wednesday night, in my robe, enjoying a little bit of editing time, bit of peace and quiet. My wife's doing a house setting job, so I've got the house to myself, so I can just relax, have a hot chocolate, and just do a little bit of editing. So the GPX 300, it's going to take a little bit of time is this, because I'm not going to rush the build of this bike. Now with this particular bike, I'm doing what I would do with any other bike. I'm preparing the bike for a mission. I'm preparing this bike in the way that I could take it to Romania and ride it for a week, or we could do a hard enduro on it tomorrow. But in essence, it won't be tomorrow. It might be in a couple of weeks' time when the bike's actually ready. The build has started. I'm going through the bike, thread to needle. What I've seen so far, I'm really impressed with. I'm quite impressed with the quality. There are a couple of little things that I don't like about the bike, you know, but they'll be dealt with. But overall, the GPX 300 TSE two-stroke package is phenomenal. The build quality is really good. What can I say? It is a performance machine. You may have seen already some of the guys in America. One of my friends, L-Cars ADV on YouTube, he was out for a first test ride. I think it was last weekend. He's got his video out and he's really impressed with it.
Alright, let's do an L-Cars ADV. Initial impressions. Alright. Right away, this bike is freaking awesome. I love everything about this bike so far. The engine is freaking awesome. Linear, controllable power, but lots of power if you need it. And lugs up the hills, just lugs up them.
Spoken to him a few times via messenger and on the phone about the bike, and assisted him in helping set up the carburetor, and he's gone for the Kyning copper carburetor, which I've also got on my bike. So we're at a stage now where the bike's a bit of a rolling frame. I've just added a few things to it, and the sort of things that we're going to be putting on the bike are going to be just a disc guard on the rear. We're going to have an Enduro Engineering sump guard. We're going to have some wraparound handguards on it. We're going to fit some mousses. And what else? Yeah, we're going to, well, we'll change the foot pegs to some KTM style foot pegs because I like those. I've tried various foot pegs. I don't like the alloy ones that come with the bike, but I like the KTM ones. So I've gone for that particular style. And they are a copy KTM foot peg. They are the same what's on my other GPX, and they're well tested. And I do like them, and value for money, they're absolutely fantastic. What else we've got? We've got, oh yeah, we're going to look at changing the switch on the light control on the bike, because it's just not fit for what I want the bike to do. It's too big. So we're going to fit a Euro style switch, and that will be probably in the next video. And what else we've done? Oh yeah, we'll talk about the carburetor as well. The carburetor, well, the bike comes with a 40mm McCune copy carburetor. Now, well, I knew from the outset, because of what this engine is, it is a KTM clone engine. We knew from past experience at Eurotek with the 2017 bikes that came with the McCune carburetor on the last carbureted bikes before TPI. They came with the McCune carb, and the McCune carb was just pants, absolute pants. So at Eurotek, and quite a lot of other people, changed to the Kyinin carb. Ideally a 36, but a 38 works well also. So we've gone for a 38mm Kyinin clone carburetor, and that's been supplied by GPX Motor UK. All the UK GPX 300 TSE bikes will have a carburetor supplied to them, to the dealer, to be fitted at the pre-delivery inspection point. So when you get your bike, you shouldn't have the McCune or the copy McCune carb on there, because it's rubbish. It doesn't really work. It takes a lot of tuning, it's a lot of fiddling, whereas the Kyinin clone works straight out of the gate. What I've done so far is just some time lapse of where I am at the moment with the bike. So I'm going to show you that time lapse now, and then I'll just talk a little bit about what else we're going to be doing afterwards. Okay guys, check this out. So that's where we're at the moment, guys. What can I say? There's a big difference between PDIing a bike for a customer and actually preparing a bike for a hard enduro for racing. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm preparing my bike for some serious work, absolutely. When you're doing a PDI in a bike, all you're doing basically is putting the bike together and making sure it's safe to use for the customer. And then once the customers go out there, can do whatever they want with it. But what I'm doing is I'm going beyond the PDI aspect of it all. I'm going, as you can see, I've greased the swing arm bearings. I've got some more grease in there. I've yet to do the triple clamps, steering head bearings yet. But I'm going through everything, making sure that everything's routed properly, all the wiring's routed properly, everything's greased up. Potential damage that can be caused during any potential crash. Now, I've looked at a couple of things on the bike, and a couple of things that I've picked up on are where the fan, the top screw, where the fan fastens onto the back of the radiator, and also the screws where the expansion tank screw onto the radiator could be quite vulnerable. So I've replaced those screws with cable ties just to stop any potential punctures. For example, you know what it's like with the TPI bikes with the power valve pinch. That sort of thing we're trying to prevent. On this bike, the radiator hoses are quite high up above the power valve area, so there's no likelihood of that happening. But the last thing I would have wanted in a crash for an impact on the radiator area and the back of a screw piercing the back of the radiator. So we've removed those screws and we've just got a flat cable tie there, so that should prevent any sort of potential impact on any crash damage, shall we say. And also with the carburetor, we rerouted the cable, the throttle cable, but I'm also looking at routing the breather tubes for the carburetor up into the airbox or up into the frame. And that's mainly because if we're going through any deep water, there is a potential of sucking water into the carburetor through those tubes. So we're going to try and route them either into the airbox or up into a high part of the frame, so we don't get any water ingress. So just little things like that, but it all takes time. You can't rush these things. Anybody that builds bikes for racing will know what I'm talking about. Things take time. Like I said, a PDI, a pre-delivery inspection on the bike is quite simple. It doesn't take long. But to do full race prep and get your bike how you particularly want it can take a few days. So that's why this is going to be a little bit drawn out. So that's it for the moment from me. I'll be back with an update next week on the build. So stay tuned. Hard Enduro and Adventure Media at Eurotek. See you soon, guys.